So, hi, I love
Hi.
you. I'm excited to do this. It's fun. Okay, so basically the whole vision here was I wanted to make a podcast in and around emotions and feeling them, anxiety and overcoming it, business and going for your dreams, and then negative thoughts to positive action, right? So this whole, like all the stuff we've already talked about. And I love talking about this stuff because I have been caught in my mind for years, mainly with anxiety and fear, and found that as I go through therapy, as I go through learning different things about myself, it really is unlocking growth. It really is that I can really see change.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of other people out there that are struggling with the same kind of thing. And so I'm interested in talking about this. I'm thinking maybe in the future I'd be able to put together a cohort of people who want to work on this stuff. Not like therapy, but taking action in like clearing out your anxiety and clearing out your fear and working with yourself. So the reason I wanted to have you on is to talk about all this stuff and then how it relates to the Enneagram. And let's just have some cool conversations.
Wow.
And it doesn't have to be anything. But I think if we have some fun, I mean, this is already fun, just kind of doing a project with you. I haven't done a project with you in a while.
I know.
But just to connect about this stuff and to talk about this stuff, because we always have such good conversations and we never record them. And so I figured it was time.
Okay.
So if we want to start with...
You should start with some little chit chat with your guest.
Well, chit chat. Yeah. Well, listen. Tell me, where do you hail from? Hey, where do you hail from?
Born and raised in Buffalo, New York.
Oh wow.
Living in Nashville,
Oh, wow.
Tennessee.
Wow.
That's
Now, how long you
where-
been here?
You're hilarious. You're married to me, so you could do the calculations of.
Well, I
that.
don't do math on podcasts. Unfortunately.
I think we've been married for 14, so 13 years
Wow.
here in
It's
Nashville.
really incredible.
I know. Yeah.
Well, what's your favorite thing about me? What'd you say? Okay, so why don't you introduce yourself? So this is Chrissy Irvin. She is my better half, and she's a growth coach using the Enneagram as the as the method, as the
Kind of the
lens.
tool, right? It's a tool that we use, and there's a lot of tools in our belt, and we need a lot of tools in our belt. But it's a really useful one, you know. It really helps us understand kind of the individual filters. We have the unique filter we kind of like see the world through.
Yeah.
And what we are most motivated by in trying to get our needs met. And so there we go.
Wow.
Yeah, I did that with my foot.
Wow, that's
I did
pretty
that with my
impressive.
toes.
That's really quite impressive.
Yeah, I'm really passionate about it. I think, again, we need a lot of tools and a lot of insight, and no model is perfect, but it sure is useful. So
Yeah.
I'm grateful for the insights it's given me about myself and why I do what I do, right?
Yeah.
And it helps me kind of recognize, I have these compulsive things I do because I am motivated in a certain way and I'm fearful about certain things, and that's kind of unique to me and those of my type, right?
Yeah.
And also understanding you as my partner, understanding that you're really motivated in really different ways. Some of our patterns might look similar, but you have a different motivation and you're kind of functioning out of a different part of yourself more than I am. And
Yeah.
it's really helpful to understand that, because I don't take offense to things or think that you're trying to hurt me in the way that I used to. Now I understand, okay, he's doing that thing he does, right? Like,
It's easier to see people.
yeah. It's easier to see, and really the bedrock of all of it is compassion, right? For ourselves, for each other, for understanding, you know, this is a well-worn path.
Yeah.
For me and for you, and the insight is really helpful. So
Yeah. That's really huge. The idea of compassion for self and others is, I think a pretty big breakthrough, because I feel like what happens a lot is as people are on this journey to figure out their anxiety or fear, whatever it is that they're doing, they notice what they're doing wrong, and then it hurts because, look at me, look at what I'm doing wrong. And then it's a whole season of like shaming yourself, which is really like kind of counterintuitive. Like when you're trying to heal,
Sure.
It's like, let me beat myself down more. And like, that's actually not the way through. It's not the way through to hurt yourself and bully yourself or whatever negative voice you have in your head, that has hurt you. You almost become that negative voice.
Sure, yeah.
As you move forward.
Shame is a terrible motivator. It's really never going to get us where we want to go.
Yeah.
And that's why I really, really lead with compassion in this work, and try to lead for that even for myself. And sometimes that's hard. It's hard to find that. But if it's always, I'm doing it wrong again, really there's a lot of people who don't even know what they're doing wrong. Like they don't even have the insight.
Right.
And it's not even necessarily... I think maybe wrong is the wrong term. But they don't even know how they're hurting themselves and their relationships. They don't even realize the habitual patterns they live out of, that are not actually their true selves. Yeah. Right? They're their persona. It's their personality. It's their ego trying to protect them. So they don't even realize it's not their true selves, and that they're in some ways not being totally authentic. And so first comes the insight, and sometimes that's hard to swallow. Sometimes it's hard to recognize, like our type and the shadow or the like lower qualities of our type. That's can be really sobering. And then when you get into the work of it all, like, okay, maybe I don't need to hold so tightly to these patterns and do these things. Maybe I can be a balanced person and I will still be loved, accepted, safe, whatever it is that we're really motivated by. We start to do that work, but we have to recognize with compassion that this is going to be a journey, and I'm going to fall back into my old patterns, and I still do. I've been doing my work for years and years, and
it's easy to do.
Yeah, it's easy to do. It's your nervous system almost feels more comfortable with your flawed patterns, even toxic patterns, right. Because it's how it's trying to keep you safe, right?
Yeah. That's what you're used to, and your ego doesn't want you to change.
No, it's very scary to change, and so the ego tries to protect you. Don't change, keep doing what you've been doing. But that's, of course, not the way to evolve and become a balanced person who isn't so confined by the strategy of a personality or the boxing in of the personality. So really, what the Enneagram is intended to help us do is get out of the box we put ourselves into. Of course, we didn't choose that box. It's not like we intentionally did this.
Well, you can't even see the box necessarily.
No,
sometimes.
You can't. But it's not to label people. That's kind of a misconception, right? It's not to say, well, you're like this and that's how you are. And if anything, that's like the opposite of what it is. Because if we just stay stuck in those ruts or use it in a weaponizing way, that's never how it's intended to be used.
That's interesting. The idea of like being a certain number and kind of feeling like, well, this is who I am and how I am. I remember when I first typed as a 5, I'm a 6, but I typed as a 5. And I kind of leaned into it more. It was kind of like, okay, I have permission now to be how I am.
Give me the data. I remember
which ultimately, give me the data, give me the information. But that was, I was mistaken there, kind of going down the wrong road of like, okay, I can kind of sit in my however I am. And that's really not what the work has been. It's been identifying like, okay, this is kind of how I've come to the world or how I see the world or what I'm motivated by. But the work is to now figure out, where is this holding me back? Where is this pattern keeping me stuck? And then taking steps outside the box that I kind of just fall into without thinking.
Yeah. And it's really true even when you properly type, right? Because there's a connection point we have with our type and we really resonate with it. And so sometimes I see this a lot with clients, with friends, we lean even more into our type because we're like, I feel kind of known by this. But the goal is to start stepping outside of that and realizing, I'm still safe. I'm still like people, I'm not abandoned, right?